in the STEM Schoology course, open the Chapter 12 folder and open the assignment entitled Lesson 1 Vocabulary. Leave this open. We're going to follow these steps 1 through 10, one at a time. Step 1 is to create a folder on your iPad and Files on iCloud Drive. So you're going to have to go to the Files app. We, if you're in Mr. Miller's class, saved it down in our main bar at the bottom. That is down here. So I'm going to open Files. If you're in another class, you can just swipe down and type in FIL, and that'll bring up Files as well. Make sure you're in iCloud Drive. This is important because if anything ever happens to your iPad and you need a new iPad, all your work will be saved and you can still pull it up. So make sure you're in iCloud Drive, not on my iPad. So you want to choose iCloud Drive, and then you want to create a new folder. And the next step, step number 2, says, name the folder STEM Vocabulary. So I'm going to go back to that folder. If you ever leave the folder, click on it, hold, and wait, and then select Rename. So I'm going to call this one STEM. All right, let's see what the next step is. Step 3, open the folder. And I'm going to read step 4 ahead of time too. Create a new folder inside this folder. So we made a STEM folder. I'm going to open that up. And then I'm going to go back to the new folder at the top again. And I'm going to create a new folder in this. And this one I'm going to call Chapter 12. And click Done. Now, right now at the top here, we are in the bulleted view, but if you were to go and see columns, you could see that inside our STEM folder, we have a Chapter 12 folder. So these are just different views for how you see things. We could see icons too, and it's more visual, but the columns is a nice way to see that the Chapter 12 folder lives in our STEM folder. But I'll leave on that for now. Okay, step 5. Name the Chapter 5. Name the file Chapter 12. We did that. 6. Create a new folder inside this folder, and 7. Name the folder Lesson 1. Okay, so I'm going to go to Chapter 12, and now again I'm going to click on New Folder, and this one's going to live inside Chapter 12, and I'm going to name it Lesson 1, like Step 7 told me to do. I'm going to click Done. Okay. And let's go back to our directions again. 8. All right, so you can see it says zoom in so that you see the entire document. That's referring to this document that's attached at the bottom. So I'm going to click on that, open it up, and I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to try to get as much of the document in the picture as possible. I don't want to shave off any of the sides over here or over here because all these different boxes are going to be important. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot. Okay, and then that screenshot, I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to crop out anything I don't need. I want to save the words at the top because those are our vocabulary words. And I also want to save all of these boxes because we're going to use those for our vocabulary. Then I'm going to come to the top left, click Done, and I'm going to choose Save to Photos. And we'll get back to that in just a minute. So I'm going to go now, since I've used this document, I'm going to click the back arrow. And let's see. We zoomed in, that was step 8, and we took a screenshot, that was step 9. Now we're going to complete all parts of the freeform. Okay, 6 parts of the freeform. All right, so maybe you're wondering, what's that at this point? So if you go back to your home screen, you want to find and open freeform. Mine is right here in the middle of the page. So if you're in my room, Mr. Miller's room, I'm going to actually drag that down because we'll use that a lot and put that beside the Files app. Now that'll be our 5th app we use a lot. But if you don't want to do that, you can search in the middle of the page, like if you're in another room, and type FREE, and that should bring up freeform. And now what we want to do is create a new board. So if you look at the top, there's a pencil and there is a rectangle. I'm going to click that, and that creates a new document. Over here on Untitled, I can click on that, and I can choose Rename, and I'm going to call this Chapter 12, Lesson 1, Vocabulary. And then I'll click Done. All right, and now what I can do is I can add that image that I took and I saved in Photos. So if I come to the top right and click on the image here, I can choose Photos or Videos. And it should be right here in the Recently Saved, top left, depending on how your photos are organized. And I'm going to click Add. And I'm going to enlarge this. If I grab the corner, that blue dot, I can make it bigger. But the neat thing about Freeform is there's infinite zooming, so I'll show you in a minute. You can keep going in closer and closer as you work on each of the documents. One other thing that you're going to want to do is tap on it, like you probably didn't see me do. I'll do that again. If I tap on it, down here in the bottom right of this bar, you'll see there are 3 dots. There's an ellipse. So on the ellipse, I'm going to tap on that, and then I'm going to choose something important, Lock. And this is going to keep that image from sliding around. You'll see that in the corners, like where I'm hovering over here, where blue dots have turned gray. So now, if I try to move the canvas, like where I put the image, the document's not gonna move around. I can move the whole canvas, of course. I can slide that around, but I can't move that document, which is going to make that a lot easier as we edit. But the other cool thing about Freeform is that I can zoom in on any part of it. So I've got my first word here, and that's Adam. And now I can add text and type it in here for that word. And I can drag that word to the middle of my Frayer, and I can edit it in greater detail. So I'll end up adding a definition, an image, and use the term in a sentence, and then give an example. And of course, I'll go over this, Mr. Richard, Mr. Garrett will all go over this with you to explain how it works.